Hi, Shea Hulse here. If you don't know me, I'm a wife and mom of two, and I help entrepreneurial women master their mindset and build a successful online business without sacrificing time with their loved ones so they can live their dream life. And this week, I'm going to talk to you about 5 spiritual awakening stages and how you can use them to live your ultimate life. You know, if you don't know much about spiritual awakening or so on and so forth, I'm gonna like not get super religious because I'm not super religious, but I'm gonna talk, yeah, really spiritually speaking, because if you don't know me, my husband and I have 5 years of sobriety together, like total 5 years for each of us, not 2.5 and 2.5. But anyway, and when we were younger and depressed and anxious and all of those negative emotions, negative vibrations, it was difficult to connect to a higher power of our own understanding, right? But yes, when you get into some of those places that talk about higher powers of their own understanding, yeah, you kind of like, I don't know if it clicks. Sometimes maybe it clicks for some people, sometimes it doesn't. I think that for me, I always had a spiritual understanding, but I didn't know how to apply it to my life. So I'm going to talk a little bit about both of those. And if you want my books, I've written 2 books now. The 3rd book will come out soon. They talk about this kind of in a fun way, in a paranormal romance fun way. And yeah, so the first stage, number 5, is knowing that something is wrong, identifying that there's something wrong with whatever, the way you're living, the way you're feeling, the way you're acting, the way life is reacting to you. So that was like one of the ones that I think I had the hardest time understanding, is that these bad things would happen to me and I wasn't sure why I had such bad luck. But now I can understand that it was kind of the vibration that I was at was attracting more negative things to come to me. So if there's something that's kind of wrong in your life, maybe that's how you found this video today. Maybe that's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking to change. And then these next steps will kind of help you understand the way that you can frame it so that you can live your best life, how you can find peace. Number 4 is, yes, once you've identified that there's something wrong, then you start seeking answers on what exactly is wrong, and then how can you use that knowledge to make it better. So some places you can seek knowledge is like, for myself, I've had to get really, really serious about my mental health, like routine. And I know that if I don't do my routine, I can be a little down that day. It's not like it always happens, but even subconsciously, I might think that always happens because or I subconsciously make it happen because I know I didn't do my routine that day. But so start finding the answers to your problems by, yes, researching online, listening to self-help books, reading self-help books, finding spiritual leaders, guides, talking to a therapist or a trusted individual that does not bring you down, that brings you only up. And that's good for you, because they can bring you up and still be bad for you. But the person that I like to go to is Gabby Bernstein, which talk a lot about, so then start finding the answers to the problems that you're having. Number 3 is having a spiritual experience. So that's kind of like, for me, I think it happened sort of backwards, where I was reading, well, I guess I was listening to, because I did a free Audible of Gabby Bernstein's Super Attractor, and it was almost like, yeah, the hindsight is 2020 sort of a feeling, that you're like, I was remembering these things that had happened years ago, or things that had happened recently, or even the way that I found myself to that book, kind of understanding the path that led me from where I was to where I was currently. So that's kind of the spiritual experience that really still sits with me. I think I was washing the dishes, and she was talking about the Archangel Michael, the number 12. That's his number. And the Archangel Michael from Supernatural is the actor Jensen Ackles, but the character, Dean Winchester, which I used to love to watch. And it was like one of those moments that just, you can read actually about it if you'd like. I can drop the link. Just say, I want to read about Jensen Ackles, because who doesn't? Then number 2 is, yeah, making those changes in your life. So yeah, once you're kind of understanding what's wrong, how can you go about fixing it, and I guess having faith that you can fix it, then you can start actually making those changes. So some of the things that I've made, some of the changes that I've made is like, yeah, really prioritizing my health. And then in terms of like, making sure I drink enough water every day, making sure I'm eating the right things, making sure I'm not overworking, making sure I'm sleeping enough. It's crazy, but yes, just those basic physiological, biological needs, really making sure that I was hitting those on the mark makes a huge difference, because, you don't realize, I mean, especially when you're younger, like I was 20, 21, 22, staying up all night and, sleeping a few hours, going to class, going to work, staying up late again. And then like I'd have the one day that I'd sleep for like 14 hours straight because, I was just burning the candle at both ends, basically. You don't realize what type of a toll that takes on your mental health because you're young and you think you're invincible. But then, yes, you get a little bit older and you're like, oh, okay, I need to take care of these things. So, that was one thing. Developing a spiritual practice. When I work out, I always listen to Gabby Bernstein. I mean, I could listen to other people. I have listened to Dr. Wayne Dyer. I've listened to Dale Carnegie and Napoleon Hill and Tim Denning. I think Tim Denning. Those are a few of the books. That's one of the articles I've written. It's 11 self-help books. You can find that on my website. But all of those books really did, and listening to somebody all the time is really good for me because, like, yeah, I need something to get me out of it. Other things I do is like astrology stuff. I like to read my horoscope. I like to have crystals. So find what works for you and try to stick to it. Develop a routine with it, a healthy routine with it, and try to stick to it. And final piece of this puzzle is number 1, finding peace. So yeah, once you kind of know that there's something wrong, you figure out how you can fix it, you believe that you can fix it, and you start kind of really fixing it. I mean, I have really had days that I'm the happiest I've ever been, and I don't think that that's a coincidence. That's not just, a product of, nothing. Didn't come out of thin air. We'll say that. I'm not happy today because I didn't work towards it. You know what I mean? It wasn't just happenstance. I didn't just get lucky, in my opinion. Sure, there are things that I am lucky for, things that I'm grateful for, but you can still have everything and not appreciate it and be miserable. So it's both the circumstances and the mindset that you're going into it. But really, life is short and it's the only one you got. So please, please, please go find your peace. Find how you can be happy every day and stick to it and do more than you thought was even possible, I guess. And really go for it, because again, this is it. This is your ride and you're not getting another one. So please live it to the fullest. And if you have a story in your heart that you think that you need to share with the world, please share it. Please share it with your friend. You can change the world if you decide to. So that's all I got for you today. I hope that you liked this. I hope that you found some value in this. If you did, please like this video, share it with somebody that you think would also find value in it, and be sure to subscribe and follow me for more. So if you do want to read my books, Fireflies is free. You can grab it in the link below. Dragonflies is not free, but if you request it at your library, you probably can get it on Overdrive if you have that app in your local library. So those are 2 ways. Butterflies is the 3rd book in that series, and it will be released when I finish it, hopefully before the end of the year. So sometime 2022. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.